Hello and welcome back to Helpful Human Design Tips. Today we are finishing up this month with the law of polarity and intuition, and we are talking about the authority and getting to know your authority. So in human design, if you are not familiar, your authority is how you make decisions in the world. It's a very personal thing. We all have an authority and it is all located in our body. Nobody has an authority that is right up here in our head and ajna center. But we all have our own unique authorities that guide us into making decisions, either big or small. And there are actually 7 different authorities, and they kind of go down a hierarchy. And it's based on the defined centers in your human design chart. So you have the emotional authority, you have the sacral authority, you have the splenic authority, you have the ego authority, you have the G-center authority, you have the sounding board authority, and then you have the lunar authority. And like I said, they are it's very specific based on which centers are defined, depending on which centers are connected to various channels. So it's very interesting, and it's very fun to look at a human design chart and be like, oh, look at this. This is how this is connected to this, and this is why they make decisions this way. It's super, super fascinating. And so knowing your authority is kind of like dropping a pin in the map and saying, okay, you're starting here. Now, here's the decision. Now listen to your authority and see which direction you want to go. It's kind of fun to play around with. Definitely. It's kind of, it takes a lot of experimentation, especially with some of the authorities versus some of the others. I think I have always thought, at least until very recently, that, it must be really nice to be a sacral authority, because the sacral authority, they have these like guttural responses that come up where they're like, uh-huh, or and that's like how they move forward. I have an emotional authority, and everyone in my family has an emotional authority. And this has been something that I have been contemplating and experimenting with and observing for the past 5 years. And so, shameless self-promotion, I actually just dropped a course called Get to Know Your Emotional Authority for those of us that have it, or if your child has it, or your partner has it, or a client has it. And it is like a culmination that I am going to be adding to of like all of my experiences with the emotional authority specifically, because it's kind of hard to pin down and break the code on, really, because it is so personalized, but it's also so nuanced, because there are emotional waves that one has to ride. And if you've ever gone to the internet, or if you have ever had a human design reading and they're like, oh, you have an emotional authority, you just have to ride your emotional wave until you find clarity. I know that when I first heard that, I was like, what? What does that even mean? I don't even understand what that means. And so I have like dove into that, and I have, come up with my own like, this is how this works, and this is how this works, and this is how this feels. So if that is something that interests you, then please check out the link in my comments or down below, and, see if that would be helpful for you. It is something that the authority is one of those things that it's very important. Like, I think that if you first get your human design chart, the first thing you want to know is like, what is my type? Am I a generator, a manifesting generator, a manifestor, a projector, or a reflector? And then you want to know, like, how do I make decisions? Like, how do I even unlock this? How am I actually going to use this chart in my everyday life? And so I feel like knowing your authority it's like that first, like sticking a key into the lock and unlocking what your energetic blueprint looks like. It's like, start here. Start with your authority. Know how you make decisions. Does this even resonate with you, this chart, or you think that's baloney? Either way, right? Like, That is the key to opening up your human design chart, in my opinion. It's fascinating to see all the different ways that people can make decision, and it would be awesome to like feel that in a sense. So anyways, that is wrapping up this month with the law of polarity in your helpful human design tips. If you are wondering, like, in this very, very chaotic world, like, how am I even supposed to distinguish between my thoughts and feelings versus everything else that's going along around me? Start with your authority. The authority is like the dropped pin starting out in your intuition. So that is all I have for you for this month of October. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you in November. Bye.